Now, when we talk about the year in review, when we talk about the best movie of 2016, that's very difficult. And in this case, it's very hard to pinpoint my favorite movie, and I think this is the first time where a lot of the blockbuster films of this year were considered to be my favorite. Now, first of all, there were some fantastic films that I really loved. Arrival, thoughtful, intelligent, and breathtakingly beautiful. Sci-fi that had a surreal suspense and affect and everything. Amy Adams did such a great job. Zootopia was delightful. It was thoughtful, witty, and charming, and it was just charged in so much positivity. Then on the other spectrum, you had The Witch, a New England folktale. Highly immersive, atmospheric horror that was an unsettling slow burn that just looked beautiful, and just everything about it made you just go, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? I really enjoyed 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was wickedly paranoid and chillingly cryptic. I mean, this is where you had conspiracy mixed with high tension. It was a complete must-see. With that, Tom Ford's recent Nocturnal Animals, that was a grisly take on, loneliness and love and relationships and exactly what it means to live in splendor, but what it is to hate. And then just recently I watched The Lobster with Colin Farrell. That movie made my stomach hurt. But it's one of those movies that made me elicit so much of a response. I felt immersed in the narrative and the style, and would I rewatch it again? I'm not sure. Those were some of my favorites, but by far, 4 of my most favorite films, and I can't really put them in any specific order because these were 4 of the movies that I just loved this year. And so I'm sorry, this might be a bit of a cop-out, but these are the 4 movies that I thought were the best of this year. First of all, for sure, Shin Godzilla, or Godzilla Resurgence, an eccentric resurgence of the King of Monsters only Hideki Anno could imagine. It's a visceral viewing experience. Watching through this, being a big Evangelion fan, I saw so many callbacks to this wondrous show. It was funny. It poked fun at bureaucracy and red tape, but more importantly, it showed how teamwork and having an efficient machine could take down the horrifyingly new look of this Godzilla. I thought it was a brilliant story. I rewatched it many times. I love this movie. With that, even though it got a lot of shit, I really enjoyed Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. I think it was unfairly hated, and it's bold. It tried new things. It's full of iconic imagery, and it's rich in allegory with the whole idea of, the fall of God and, Batman and Superman. Just the fact that we got this movie and the visual effects were great. Best part of the movie by far, besides Wonder Woman, is the scene where Batman takes down that warehouse of all those thugs. One of the best fighting scenes I've ever seen in any superhero movie. But I can't deny, Captain America Civil War was a way better film, and it fucking delivered. You felt emotionally invested in Robert Downey Jr. He did the best I've ever seen in any Marvel specific movie, and I was invested in so many moments. It was such a great callback to everything that I love about comics. The introduction of new characters, great scenes, the comedy, the humor, the action, the sequences. It just knew how to pace everything very well together. Little bit of action, little bit of narrative. Funny scene, a little bit of action, narrative. It understood what it was trying to do. And then the most recent movie that I saw, also one of my favorites, was definitely Rogue One. Again, a lot of big blockbuster films here this year, but I think that they really showcased what I loved about these franchises, and with Rogue One, it was a fun and exciting look at the Star Wars universe. It introduced me to a bunch of new characters that in a short amount of time made me care. It made me laugh, and that scene, oh my god, that scene with Darth Vader. 1 minute of Darth Vader in the movie that you will see, and that will remind you why he is a terrifying monster. These movies all elicit a certain response, and I have to say these were the best films of 2016 because I wanted to watch them again. And first of all, they reminded me why I want to go to the movies in the first place, to immerse myself, to enjoy something that I read or that I hear about. And the stories are complex, and the narrative is so great, and it has a great emotional punch, and I learned something new. And so these are the movies that I really loved, and I highly recommend that you go see them as well.